My dad used to be a police officer. My mum later became a probation officer, so it was always in the background of my life. I always had some interest in it, but I can't really identify what specifically sparked my interest in it. I do recall being very young and my mum wouldn't let me do something. And I remember trying to convince her by explaining the difference between law and rules. I said that the law is what is and isn't allowed for everyone, but rules are more flexible. And so I said my friend's mum has allowed my friend to go to this thing, this party, and that was a rule and not the law, and so she should let me do it as well. It didn't work. I started working at the firm that I remained at for my entire legal career in practice when I was 15, and started working there as administrative assistant, then carried on working there through my studies. I then undertook my part-time studying training contract whilst at that firm and whilst doing the LPC. I then became a paralegal, did my police station accreditation with them. Following that, I qualified into the firm, became an associate later, then a partner at that firm, and then finally was appointed as a deputy district judge in the Magistrates Court in 2017, and then became a full-time district judge in the Magistrates Court in 2020. There are certain people in my life who have a legal background and so understand it far better, and those that don't. And that's not a criticism, it's simply fact, they just don't understand. And so they ask me things like, do you wear a wig and gown? How many murders have you dealt with this week? That sort of thing. But it's just because they don't understand how it works. But overall, they're very proud. I think probably so far the biggest high of my legal career was last year when I received an honorary doctorate from the university that I studied at, and that was completely unexpected and a huge honour. I think your upbringing and the importance of that to becoming a judge has changed. Things are changing for the better. There are far more opportunities for women and for people from more diverse and less traditional backgrounds now than there ever were. Historically, the statistics have indicated that people from privileged backgrounds are more likely to succeed, but there is a concerted effort from many, including the senior judiciary and the Judicial Appointments Commission, to level that playing field. And it is important that the momentum achieved so far continues and is not lost. I came from a background where no one in my family had been to university before. I came from a state school. I paid my way through university, and then I was appointed as a fee-paid judge at 31 years old, so things clearly are changing. I think the diversity has changed a great deal. It is improving. There are a number of people now who are firsts in terms of their background and diversity characteristics. There is still, of course, a long way to go to ensure that diversity is reflected through the most suitable candidates for the job, but I think it is definitely on the right path. There are some people who question whether I have enough life experience to judge others, whether I know enough to be a judge. Some who think that a young woman can't do the job or cannot do it as well as an older male. And I overcome that, or I should probably say try to overcome that, by working hard every day in order to prove those people wrong. I've talked about the improvements in judicial diversity, but despite those huge strides that I genuinely believe have been made and are positive, there will inevitably be people who doubt you. Don't let them. Work hard to show that you are not to be doubted, that you are good enough, and be the next generation of young female judge. I am often asked what my favourite book is. It's a question I get asked quite a lot. And perhaps predictably, as a lawyer, my answer is To Kill a Mockingbird. But I do have to confess, and people are often quite surprised about this because they see me in my black suit in court looking very formal. One of my favourite films is Legally Blonde.